Hey everyone, just want to share a quick little insight from my study General Conference this morning. While I was working out, I was listening to George Albert Smith's April 1933 General Conference address, and it is one of the best addresses I've listened to in a long time. Like, if it had been given this last April conference in 2025, it would have been among one of the best talks in that conference as well. In this talk, he speaks a lot about our opportunity to accept the gospel and to live the law. And then he talks about the fact that in every dispensation, God calls these prophets to give men opportunity. And every dispensation has ended with apostasy. But that in our dispensation, it will not end in a general apostasy, but it will have families who end their relationship with the gospel through family apostasy and through personal apostasy. And then he goes on to quote the Doctrine and Covenants, where the Lord flat out tells Joseph Smith, you need to do better. Your family needs to listen and obey, because if they don't, they will be lost. They need to keep the commandments. And he goes, many of the people who received these revelations didn't listen and they fell away. Even in this dispensation, many of the founding leaders fell away and they've lost their celestial opportunity. And then he talked about the fact that when we have the prophets speaking to us and we throw away their words and we disregard the word of the Lord unto us, we are throwing away our opportunity. And for most of us, that opportunity will not come back. And I think this is really important because right now I have seen a lot of people posting on social media this idea that if you have your opportunity in this life, if you're a member of the church and you decide you're going to reject it, you don't want to live it, you don't want to keep the commandments, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die, that you can then simply have another opportunity in the spirit world or in the millennium, and that you can just make everything right. That's not our doctrine. In fact, our doctrine directly contradicts that. The Book of Mormon denounces the notion of eat, drink, be merry, tomorrow you die, and I'll be well with you. If you have your opportunity to receive the gospel and you reject it, God will honor your agency and he will not override that and make you inherit celestial glory. If you've not received your opportunity, that is when the justice, mercy, and the amazing plan of salvation gives you that opportunity in this next life. We should never judge whether or not someone has had that opportunity, but we should be realizing that we need to make sure that we are doing what is right. And George Albert Smith talks about that a lot. And then he goes on to warn about parents and our specific duty, because he says that many times parents who should be sustaining the prophets are the ones who are sowing doubt with their children, and they will face eternal consequences for the destruction of faith. And overall, I really loved it. And then he had a powerful line near the very end. He says that we want to be with the popular people, but that which is righteous is almost never popular. And that which is popular is almost always unrighteous. And therefore, a good rule of thumb for Latter-day Saints is, if it's popular, do the opposite.